Okay. Did you ever run into any segregation and that kind of?
Yes, one time when I was a kid, I remember that. I was going to D.C. on the old Washington Dominion Railroad, and I got on the train out here, and there was no heat on it. And, of course, then, you know, you had to sit in the back. That was segregated to start with. And in the back of the train, the sun was shining on that side. And the conductor came over. I saw this white lady kept looking back and looking back. And I was a kid. I didn't know what was going on. And he came and told me, he said, "Do you want to move? I'd like for you to move up front." And I wondered about that. And it was nice and warm back there. The sun was shining in the window. And that's what he did. Because she was cold and she wanted to get back there. Otherwise, if you got on the train and it was full, white people would sit in the back. And you'd stand up.
In the back?
Yeah, you'd have to stand up. They'd take your seats. But if the back had seats in, that's where you would sit. But she wanted to get back there because the sun was warm. Yeah. And then even when I went to work in D.C. and the war was on, you couldn't eat everywhere. We were working for the War Department, and there was no restaurant in the building, and white towel. I don't know whether they still have them now or not.
Around.
Well, if you would get a sandwich or whatever you wanted, but you'd eat it outside. You couldn't go inside. And that broke a big stink because so many people came up with the problem that they had relatives in the war, and yet you couldn't do it. And same way with the theaters down there. And you couldn't go into the white theaters, but they could come to your theater if they wanted. And that was doing when I was in school, and on Saturdays we used to go to the theater.
This was in Washington?
Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. was just as segregated as it could be.
What about Loudoun County here, Sterling, where they just weren't in the theaters?
Same thing. They had that little tally-ho theater.
In Leesburg.
Yes, and I see that they're trying to open it again. But you'd have to set up in the gallery. If you got in at all, that's where you would sit. Yeah.
What happened when you went to buy your ticket? What happened when you went to buy your ticket?
They'd sell you a ticket, but that's where you would sit. We were talking about that here a couple of weeks ago.
Usually after they sold all these white folks.
Yeah.
Tickets, didn't they?
Loudoun County was just as segregated as it could be.